Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. So today is Everything I've Ever Made Part 1, the early days. As you can see, I attempted to make a little drawing here on my whiteboard, but it's backwards. So maybe next time I'll have to write it out backwards for me, so it won't be backwards for you, but we'll just have to figure that out at a later date. And for my subsequent YouTube videos, I will be making my best effort to have it horizontally laid out as opposed to vertically like it is now. But because of the way the try-on videos worked for my TikTok video, just working with what I got, I don't want to stress myself out too much. So anyway, getting into it, I'm really excited. This is a super special project for me because I've always wanted a portfolio. Throughout middle school and high school, I took band, so I actually didn't have an additional arts credit, and I never had a portfolio. I was very envious, you could say, of the art kids with their portfolio, so I'm just making it happen for myself now. You know, there's no real due date, but I am pushing so that I can really see my progress and share it with all of y'all. So basically this video will be half video try on and then half picture breakdown. So you can get a little more information about each of the pieces, plus some stuff I don't, have in my possession any longer. So if you do follow me on TikTok, which isn't too likely, but if you do, thank you, 1. And 2, you can probably skip the try-on videos. I'll put timestamps so it's not too redundant if you just kind of want to see a little bit about one specific section or the other. So other than that, let's just get into it, y'all. Hey y'all, wanted to come by and show you some projects that I worked on basically before I graduated from high school. So mostly I think I'll be including pictures, but I have a special guest. His name is Steve, and he is made from an old tank top and a Santa hat that I stole from my brother. And I think I must have been in the 6th grade at the oldest when I made Steve. He is from the Scrappies line by Miranda, of course. So I'm just going to lovingly place him down here and show you the first item that I still have from high school. So I bought myself a sewing machine from a thrift store for my 17th birthday. And this was the first thing I made. So I'm just gonna... Alrighty, so this is the first top, and it is a lot tighter than it used to be, which makes sense because what? Not in high school anymore. So I actually think this held up really nicely. The buttons are actually still freaking on here. I mean, I've had this since I was 17 and I've been moving it around state to state, whatever. And I have to say, this gal actually holds up. So this is the back. I'll show y'all some more pictures, and then I'll take a video of like what the inside looks like because the quality of my sewing has improved a lot. And so where is our next item? Oh, okay. So this is the big one. I haven't put this on in years, but this is my prom dress. So, I mean, I'm looking at this right now and I feel like a freaking hot tamale. The drama with this was I actually finished the dress, like the first one, maybe Thursday before prom, and then I did something wrong to the front and the whole thing got ruined. I had to start over. And at this point, I still did not know how boobs work, so this was taped to me the entire prom. I had to go home to pee after the little dinner that we had. I still did not learn how boobs work for another couple years, so just keep that in mind. It's gonna take me some time to get it. And at the time, I really hated on myself for this dress, but I think, even though the sewing does leave something to be desired, I think more than anything, look at the back. I wasn't wearing a bra, so I think I just felt a little too naked. And then this is the zipper. I mean, you can tell it's like so wonky, but actually I think it's pretty beautiful. And this is like $70 worth of fabric, so it wasn't even cheap to make, to be honest. Hey y'all, so this is what I have dubbed the California Creations section of Everything I've Ever Made. So taking y'all into it, the first thing I made was the shorts that I made basically the first day I actually moved to LA. I was staying in an Airbnb with a woman who actually became a great friend after. These were made for some jeans I got from Goodwill. I had them probably 5 years before I did anything with them. And there's actually still a pin stuck in them, a little pin head stuck down here. Nothing I can do about that now. So, oh, and there's actually a really great picture of me in these at the Amber Rose Slut Walk that I'll share in the picture video. So the next thing that I still have is my birthday dress from my 19th birthday. I did have to put an entire other dress underneath here in order to be able to show y'all it on. I suppose if it was my life's mission, I could stuff myself in here like a sausage, but it would break the dress and be really uncomfortable. So what's the point? And as y'all can see, this is the top of my cleavage, and this is where the neckline is. So on the day of, we were at Venice Beach, we were on the Ferris wheel, we did tandem biking, and I had to have my now husband be on nipple watch because it was a little scary. So the next thing I made, I actually made this for work, and as you can see, I'm still just like really with the crazy patterns, is this skirt that I made with the giant peaches on it. I got this fabric from the Fashion District downtown, probably for like $2.50 a yard or something. It was very economical. So I'm gonna move y'all down so you can get the full glory. So it's a pencil skirt with a zipper in the back and a really big leg slit because otherwise it would be unwalkable in. I wore this to my first day of work at a very beloved job, and it kind of fell apart. I had to fix it when I got home later, but if you believe in yourself, everyone else will believe in you, so it was actually really a hit. And then actually, I'll keep the angle down this way because I got another long one. And another crazy pattern is this dress that is also with another giant crazy fruit pattern. Once again, that it's kind of the running theme of this video. I cannot get this up. There's zero chance that it's happening, and you can even see at the time I extended it like another inch because it was too tight, and I added this extra flap so that it would cover. It was always too small on the bottom, but the top was too baggy, and now the top is like, I just never actually finished this dress. It was a super cute idea, and I love the length that I chose, but once again, this just did not quite work out, and it won't be working out again. So that's all said and done. The next video is gonna be some pictures. Maybe I'll zoom in on the stitching, because at this point the stitching is actually really nice. The stretchy fabrics are a little harder to get good stitching on, so that was once I switched over to stretchy fabrics, it was almost like starting over in a way. And when I'm back in my PJs, I have one more special guest. Okay, I'm back in my PJs, so I'm gonna bring the camera back up to show you my last item that I still have possession of, basically before I moved out here. This is a panda pillow that I made for my grandma, probably back in like 2018, and my childhood nickname was Panda, so I thought it would be a little comforting. The eye is falling off just a little bit. I'll probably fix that at some point. But she was super well loved, and after my grandma passed, my aunt saved this little guy for me so that I could keep it forever. So I'm really glad that I still get to keep it, and I'm gonna lovingly place her back down and we can start the video over again. Alrighty, so for the breakdown portion of the video, I'll just be inserting photos approximately here-ish and giving y'all my thoughts thereafter. One thing to keep in mind with this video is that it is all about mistakes. I could not have gotten where I am now, which is not to say I'm like, you know, gourmet or couture, I guess would be the clothing version of that word. Anyway, not to say that I'm perfect now, but oh my goodness, after putting together this video, I'm realizing just how many things I've made and how many mistakes I made to get to the techniques that I have now. So I wish I had the pictures of them, because there were actually, for my homecoming dress, there was another little PJ set I made with the same technique. This dress was actually not sewn. I used fabric glue to make it, so it was incredibly uncomfortable. I think I did sew like the elastic in and maybe a couple like details, but all the little rosettes and everything, it was glued on. The skirt was 2 layers and it was a 2-piece set, because at that point in time I could not figure out how to connect something together and also be able to put it on. Clothing is like Legos or something. It's like a puzzle. And so that's kind of my thoughts on this one. It looked super cute and I was matching with my bestie. It was a nice night, and yeah, I was super proud. Any kind of school dance that we had, I always made my own dress or wore something pretty funky. So I totally love and admire that. Next up, we have my ladybug dress. So I actually, well, it's a two-piece set, but it functioned as a dress, and I wore that thing all the time, actually. I got a lot of use out of it. As you can see, it was very messy on the inside, and it probably on camera is being a little more flattering than it is in real life. But, I mean, all the stitching held up, so I am pleased with that. And in the same kind of style, I made this purple floral Eastery dress. I have no idea who I thought I was when I was making this, and I can't even remember which teacher I gave it to, but they had a daughter who was approximately the same size as me, so I said, she can have it. She'll look really good in it. So the next thing, I finally did kind of figure out how to combine stuff. So I made this pasta romper with pockets. As you can see, the sleeves are like very boxy and not flowing nicely. I had to add an extra panel in the middle to make it long enough, but it stretched, it put on. It was actually a real piece of clothing. So I wish I still had it. It's probably in my garage, to be honest. It wasn't that cute, but I was very proud of myself for making it. Let's see. Oh, the prom dress. So that is this guy right here. You saw it on the try-on video too. But as you can see, like the stitching here totally broke. It was bad. Like this is the inside. It doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look very good either. This fabric though is gorgeous, and it is so soft. So probably won't ever do anything to alter this in the future just for posterity's sake, but it is so beautiful. And then the trash bag romper, that one was just kind of a joke because, you know, I think I'm so hot and so cool that I even look good in a trash bag. Should probably revisit that idea at some point, make it a bit more couture, a little more fashion. And then let's see. Sorry, y'all. I keep looking off screen because I have a piece of paper to try to remind myself what order I intended to talk about these things. So I'm just going to stop being mysterious about it. I'm looking at a piece of paper. So now we kind of come into like the bag section. I made this like little ladybug pouch just to match my dress, and because I had extra ladybug buttons, and it's cute. I mean, it's just cute. This little teddy bear backpack, I made that for a baby. That's why it's so tiny, and his name was Jaden, so I put a little J on it for him. And I didn't do right sides together, so this is when I was still really figuring out how to even attach stuff to other stuff. I mean, I was still on that step. And then, speaking of which, I get to this Monet backpack, which looked like a stunner. It fell apart in 2 days, and it was the bag I brought on a California visit before I moved out there. And I think I had to purchase another bag in order to bring home my stuff because the zipper broke, all the flowers were falling off. I didn't even use the right color thread for the lily pad. I used blue to match the backpack, even though the lily pad was green. So those kinds of finer details I really did end up like working on. And then this first stretchy material dress here. I also have made a matching pair of underwear, but I will not be showing that to y'all. But it was like kind of Calvin Klein style with the elastic. Any case, this gray dress was my first time really working with stretchy materials, and I wore that dress down too. I wore her out, and I looked good, so I was happy with that. And so then I kind of come into this little gray mini dress that I made. And it looks silly in retrospect because it's like, girl, why did you dress like that to a protest? But in my defense, it wasn't a protest when I showed up. We were just sitting on the steps of City Hall. Then it turned into a protest. So yeah, I looked good. And that was my dress. So I was kind of plugging me before I even had me to plug to people. So then I also made a pair of denim shorts and a little bikini top out of some jeans I bought probably in middle school from Goodwill. And you can see me here dancing, having a good time at the Amber Rose Slut Walk in that outfit. It's probably the only place I ever would have felt comfortable enough to wear it. But I still wear those shorts. They're just tiny now that I've gotten a little bigger. Then I made this denim pencil skirt. I wore it with a top, and I was like, wait, who do I look like? And you can see exactly who I look like. So shout out to Miss Belcher. We were twinning. Then I made my birthday dress, which is still here. I'll never ever let go of this. So obviously my boobs didn't fit in here. It still took me like another 2 years to learn about boobs, but I mean, just look how beautiful this dress turned out. And I mean, the stitching was really nice. Nothing's messy. Like, I love this, and maybe someday I can pass it on to a family member or something. And I made a dinosaur dress with a square circle skirt, so that's why it's pointy, and I feel like that does give like prehistoric. I wore that to the Getty Museum with my husband, and just kind of all around town. I looked super cute. I wore it to my brother's graduation, and then I also started kind of playing around with some upholstery, I guess you could say. So I made some cushions out of this succulent aloe vera pattern. And again, I really struggled with 3D shapes. So when I made the pattern for the cushion, it fit the seat. But then as you can see here, once you stuff it, it becomes 3D and it gets shorter this way and that way. So I learned my lesson and have since made much better cushions. But the pillowcases I was extremely proud of. It was an envelope style. It's really easy. Such a beautiful way to make a pillowcase. Then I made a white kind of lacy hippie skirt. I actually spent $70 on Etsy purchasing the skirt in this picture here, and it said that it was an embroidered leather belt, but when I received it, it was rayon and spandex with a silk screened pattern of a belt printed on it. And so I said, that's false advertising. I got my money back and I used it to buy some fabric to make this skirt. I did not like it. I wish that I did. It was a pretty skirt, but I think it was just too much bunching at the waist. Like there was too much extra fabric, even though I was using elastic. So I needed to kind of cut it down there. Let's see. So then I had to take a second to regroup because I have made way more things than I thought I did. So I am feeling pretty proud of myself throughout this process, but getting back into it, I made this little embroidery pocket for my jeans with a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote on it. It is one of my favorites, and I just think it turned out beautiful, as well as just a little flower basket that I embroidered, not for anything, just for funsies. So I also, with that same fabric, I made those chair cushions. I made like a pair of capris. At first they were open wide leg, hated them. So I added some elastics to the strap so it would have more of like a poofy pantaloon type of vibe. I still really hated them. I think I just felt like a couch while I was wearing it because I looked like a couch while I was wearing them. I have no idea what happened to those pants. Maybe I gave them to Goodwill, I'm not sure. So from there, I have a couple of actually work items because if I can, I do try to make some of my clothes for work. And I had this black turtleneck dress with a ribbed fabric, not too different from this one, but a little thicker. And it had a short sleeve. I wore it to work because I had to wear all black with some little loafer heels, and it was just so cute. And then the spaghetti strap dress that you'll see in this picture, I used to wear it with a poncho I made for my neck, like a little mesh skirt. It was hot, but I have no idea where it is, and I don't have a picture of it, so sorry that I can't show it to y'all. After that, I actually made this one in Inglewood, so I don't know how the order got mixed up, but it's a yellow gingham dress. I also hated this one. I tried wearing it several times, and I even embroidered some little veggies on the bottom. I thought it would make me like it, but I even liked it less after that, so, you know, F-A-F-O, as they say. I learned what that meant this week. Then I made a denim jacket. I was watching Shameless a lot at the time, and I was kind of inspired by Frank Gallagher. So I made myself a faux Sherpa denim jacket, and the armpits were so tight and the arm was so short. But I wore it on my backpacking trip. I once again repped me and what I do out in the world. And so, you know, even though I looked a little whack, I couldn't help but be proud of myself. Then those jeans that I wore while I was traveling, I'll show you a picture. I'm holding a chicken. I was very proud because I was afraid of birds when I got there. Anyway, I also used a chainsaw on that trip. those jeans were super baggy. I looked nuts while I was traveling, but I was repping me, so that's all that matters. Then these are just a couple like little random items. I honestly don't even remember making these. A little blue bodysuit and then a white crisscross top. I remember that one a little. I think when I sewed it, there was too much bunching of fabric, like the seams met all right here and it would pinch. And now when I make clothes, looking good is important, but I promise you everything I make is even more comfortable than good looking. And then the peach skirt, y'all saw that in the try on video, so it was a little tinier at this time. It fit a little better. And then this was when I was in Costa Rica, a couple items I sewed while I was traveling. I made the little pouch that you'll see in the video, made that at my grandma's house. Blue dress out of a sarong and a denim tube top. So I actually have the YouTube videos on my old channel that I made for funsies. So I'll be uploading those too if you want to see a little bit about where I've come from. So let me see if that is all. Oh, there really was one last item, which is these painted jeans. Another pair of jeans that I probably bought in like the 8th or 9th grade from Goodwill. And I started painting them. So you'll kind of see the continuation of that when we get into Everything I've Ever Made Part 2. But this is how they started. So we made it to the end, y'all. I thank you very much for your time, and I hope that if you are on a sewing journey yourself, you found my experience helpful, inspiring. Maybe you like, I'm better than her. And so if you are, good for you, and I'm happy for you. But if you're still learning, I hope that you can take from my experience that no, it's not like I was born sewing perfectly. I've never taken a formal sewing class. I did have like 3 weeks in the 7th grade. I don't remember that. So everything I learned off of YouTube. So that's why I'm sharing it with y'all here now, so that I can be a part of that ecosystem. And if there's anything y'all want to learn specifically, let me know. I'd love to learn it along with you. So if you enjoyed the video, I really appreciate a like. It's kind of nerve-wracking to even ask for a like or a subscribe, but if you did like the video, I will be making more, and I would love to see you along the journey with me. So bye, y'all.